Hello, hello, hello. Any anomni adolfono. Chia ubibia. No frebia woman, a munchia, and yadima sabre. Yadamasi, sabre bia, so muni and the any odo. Yenya shasi kra na yenya oma, wababete kwa dada. Yenya nana, crafts, also say paper, also say better. Monfanche, ya check a cra, monfanche. Yɛnya technical issues bi nti no mfa kyerɛ but yɛdeɛ yɛsɛ dɛn na sɛ yɛsitie bia na berɛ bia yɛbɛpɛ sɛ yɛde nsɛm no yɛdɛ yɛbɛba nti deɛ di nka yɛbɛma yɛ brother Francis akɔ aba
Yɛnua yɛgya
ɔkyerɛkɔ deɛ
adom na experience agya yɛn ho ɔde nsa gyɛ okafo so
yɛda nyame ase anuane ne adɔfo ɛnɛ dɛ nso no yɛwɔ yɛnnua wisdom a wɔno nso ɔyɛ ne first time a wɔn nso so deɛ dɛ wɔde aba SOS sɛ wɔba na wɔne yɛ aba bɛkyerɛ nimdeɛ ɛfa catfish ho na mehu sɛ ne network no still na no ntimi nyinaa so nti no yɛtwɛn sɛ ɔbɛyɛ yi na yɛama ɔno nso so akɔ aba na ɛnɛ dɛ no yɛ brother Francis wɔn ɛbɛyɛ host na yɛ brother wisdom ɔno na nkɔyɛ guest but ɛm sɛ guest no sɛdeɛ yɛ nyinaa anim no network no ɛnha no kakra nti brother Francis wobɛtumi ayɛ introduction ama yɛ a ne yɛtwɛn yɛ brother wisdom no ɛda ase
ayɛ de gyaa
ayɛka saa
okay ebusuafoɔ mekyerɛkyerɛ obiara asɔmdwe ka yɛ ɛda nwa ase ɛna nso yɛ ɛda foforɔ ɛda no topic a yɛbɛbɛhyɛ no yɛ very unique just unique ebia sɛ yɛba no poultry a yɛwɔ layers yɛwɔ brothers sɛ yɛba no fish da ɔyɛ fish ɔyɛ dɛn pa wɔfa no fish nti no ɔyɛ unique paa ɔne aboa a ɔwɔ edin koro pɛ ɔnte dɛ eproko a wɔwɔ san wɔfa no chance
hey
chance okay nti no na mɛnda yɛ no wɔsua fish farming but mehu dɛ yɛsi na ma no waba do nti no Mr. Wisdom.
Yes, boss.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Akwaba.
Oh, fine. You yourself know that I can speak Chi. Thank you. You know the Chi is not strong.
Okay.
Don't worry, you can try. Why?
Okay.
Wait a try. Don't worry. And men feel shy. Okay. If you know, so feel shy, and you may be telling I'm about and try. Why?
Okay.
Now, if you free, until they didn't come more quaba.
I don't know how to respond, but thank you. I mean.
Okay, Yate. What do you fire quay? Brother Francis, what do you host to know?
Okay, I see. That may maybe chira obia ene oye yes wisdom no. Wisdom ye obia who say wagana no say ka best agri college aim say yedema ejura agri college. Now wisdom on no oye ejura agri college na ye fish farming your boss. And just imagine the whole school fish farming on your boss. Just say only MBP automation abokra editor me I want in a bad group. And wisdom. We really appreciate your time and your effort. Today's program is about how to start fish farming from the scratch. Yes, from the scratch to the table. From day one or from the selection of the land and to our food. from the scratch to the end. So this magazine is for you from this time to further notice. Thank you.
You're welcome, my brother. I will first of all thank you for giving me this opportunity to also express the little that I have concerning fish pond. Okay, as they say, my name is Abetefa Wisdom. I was, I am the former general prophet in Ejira Agricultural College and Mechanization Center. Okay, uh, we are come to talk about fish farming, especially tilapia, tilapia farming. And you know, before we go to the start of fish fish farming, we first talk of the capitals because everything starts from the capitals. We talk of the money aspect, the money, the financial that you go into, the what that all the what that all the things you have to go into the farming. That the main one is the money, the financial side. So before you go into the fish farming, you have to get your money down. From there, we'll go to the fish construction, the fish pond construction rather. Sorry. And before we go into the fish pond construction, we see some futures. We find some futures before going to construct our fish pond. We can't just go to any area of land and say, "Oh, this place I have to construct a fish pond there." No, but we rather we rather construct. One of the future is we don't construct a fish pond close to where where trees are, because when the trees are there, the what that predators may come. You know, some birds are there which are predators to the fish, so they can come to rest there, and then when they see the fish, they will come to just harvest some of the fish, and then because and also to um tilapia, they don't go with a dirty environment, so some of the leaves may fall into the water, and then when they fell into the water, they may decay, and then when they decay, they will let the water become dirty for a fish to go in. And then also to when you go to construct a fish pond, you first check whether that place is a waterlogged area or a waterlogged area your fish can survive there or not. And then basically I'm not talking of all any fish pond, but I'm talking of the concrete one. So when we go into the concrete pond, there are some features that we have to go to. There are some features that are also in the fish pond, you see. So and then I know a lot of us know those features that we are expecting to get into our fish pond. So this one, I will not expect myself to be telling you the features in the fish pond. So let's step there and then come to the after getting your fish pond, you have to treat the pond before introducing the fish into it, or your fingerless into the fish pond. And then because the reason why we treat the fish pond is that if we leave it like that, because of the the cement that we have used, there are acids in the fish pond. If you don't treat it, the acids may kill the fishes that you would introduce into the fish pond. So treatment of the fish pond is also one of the things that can let you have a good fish farming. And then the treatment we are talking of, we have different methods. Other people have, but me, I know of only two, and I have mastered only one. I know of two, but I didn't master the first one, and the second one rather, but I have mastered the first one, and the second one, which is using the manure, that's the poultry manure to rather to treat the fish pond, or better still, using like plantain or banana branches and then the leaves to treat the fish pond. Those are the areas, those are some of the things we use to treat the fish pond. And then I know some may have other materials or other things that we may use to treat the fish pond, but these are the only two that I knew of. But I have practiced the plantain and the banana on, but I didn't practice the pottery dropping. Okay, so let me go to like the treatment. Before you treat a fish pond using the plantain or the banana stem and then the leaves, you first fetch water like 3 quarters into the fish pond, and then you get the leaves and then the stalks of the plantain. You cut them into pieces. Cut the stalks into pieces. Cut cut the leaves into pieces, and you spread them into on the surface of the water. After spreading, make sure that the leaves cover all the surface of the water, and then after that, you fill the fish pond with the water to get to like the what that uh, the overflow side. So when you fill it like that, you leave it, and then make sure every day, at least every day, you go, and then you have to turn the leaves, or make sure that the leaves are all the leaves have touched the water, because if they are made like that, some may go and lie on top of the others. So make sure that all of them are on top, on the surface of the water. So when you do that, you just do it about 1 or 2 weeks, depending on where you are, or depending on how the water is. Before you know that the water is well treated, when you go, you see some organisms in the water, some little organisms, even frogs. You can see frogs are also in the water. So when you see them like that, you know that truly your water is well, your pond is well, treated. So it is good for introducing your fingerlings into the water. Then after that, you just remove all the things and then drain the water out. Then when you drain it, you now well fill it, and then bring your fishes. So, and then one thing too is that introducing the fishes into the water. Is- Before you introduce a fingerling into the water, because you bought it from a different source, it's like you are bringing it from a different environment into into that environment. So you are bringing it from a different source to your fish pond. So know that the temperature of the water in which the fish was living there is not the same as where you are bringing it. So, and then where you go to buy your fish pond, don't go to a far distance to buy your fish pond. You just go a nearby, just a nearest distance to get your fish and bring it to your fish pond. You go to a far distance and bring it, maybe you will not reach where you are, and then the heat may kill all the fingerlings. So take note of that. So when you successfully bring the fish into the or the fingerlings to your fish pond, you have to fetch your fish pond's water like a bucket or a basin, and then they will put your fish with the fish with the pond there water. They will put it in a polished propylene bag. So when they bring it, you fetch your water there and open the mouth of the polythene bag, and put it into the water that you have fetched from your fish pond. Just leave it about 2 to 5 minutes to just lie down for a while. Then after that, you now leave the fish. Don't leave the fish to run in, to just jump into the that water you have fetched. Still hold the polythene bag, but make sure that there's air, but they will feel the temperature. So when they feel the temperature, bare 2 to 5 minutes, the temperature will be okay for them. Then you pour the fishes into the bucket, and then you transfer gently. Don't put so much stress on it. Just do it gently. Then you transfer them into your fish pond. Okay. So when you successfully transfer your fish or your fingerless into your fish pond, what next? What is the next thing you're supposed to do? That's the feeding. And when we talk of the feeding, you know, we have you can't go and buy a big feed like three what is that 3 ml 3 ml feed for a fingerless. It's too small. It can't eat what is that the this one I'm talking of the formulated one. I know there is unformulated like organisms that are there you can do to feed your fish pond, to feed your fish rather. But that one I didn't learn more about it. What practically that's it. Let me say practically I didn't do more about it. What I did practically more about is getting there was that the formulated feed. That's the one you can get, the one that they have already made that you can use to feed your fishes. So when you bring it there, if you go the fingerless owner there, that's 1.5 ml, and they also have 3 lm. So it depend on the size of your fish. Go to the feed that you have to use to feed them. So the fingerless that you bring, you just get like the one ml or the 0.5 ml. That's the one you start. So bear like a month, you change it to like 1.5, and then the way the fish are growing is the same way you also change the feed. Okay, and then go to the feeding aspect because we are doing it for a market sake because we need the money fast. So it's the way you feed it, the faster you feed it, and then the condition if the condition too is well for them, the faster they grow. So let me say, for me, what I did, I always feed them 3 times a day. I always feed them 3 times a day. I give them morning, afternoon, and then evening, so that I can get my table size fast to to send it to the market. And also one thing about the feeding of the fish is that when you see that the weather is cloudy or when it's starting to rain, you don't feed the fishes. If you feed them, they will never come and eat. That's one thing I noticed. And then so they go with the sun. You don't also feed them early morning. You don't feed them early morning. Just like there like 9, 10, because by then the sun has set to come. So by then the weather is already clear. If you go and feed them around that time, they will eat. But if you feed them early morning, by like let me say 5:30 to 6 o'clock, by then if you go and feed, the feed will be on the water. But by the time that the sun will come, no, you go and see them. They like the feed too will also absorb the water, so it will be too. The fish can also take it again. So you go and see a lot of you go and see the feed on the surface of the water. You would think that the fish are certified or they don't need the feed. Meanwhile, you didn't feed them at the right time. So that's one thing that we also notice. I also noticed. And then after the feeding, we go to the changing of the water, the fish pond water. One what is that? One feature of the of constructing the fish pond I didn't talk of is the water, the source of water. Before you create a fish pond, make sure that your source of water is very close. I always advise people that come to me that before you create a fish pond, there is a machine called a filtering machine, a filter. We call it a filter. So we use that one to regulate the water. So we have a way of connecting it, and the way we connect it, when the water when the water in the pond is dirty, we just open it, and then it will go through a process, and then you see it will remove the dirt, and then you see the clean water will come back. That same water, the clean water will come back into the fish pond. So that's one of using the the filtering machine, or better still, you just get like the water system that I'm saying. You can get like you can get a borehole or a reservoir. very close. Because if you say you consider the what's that water company in Ghana, and what's that you consider your fish one, depending on them, your fishes will die one day. Because there will be a day that you want to change the water, and then there will be water off. The water may not be flowing that day. And you see, one thing tilapia hate is dirty. They hate dirtiness. If the water becomes dirty, no, you see, if it will become dirty, the what that oxygen content become low, and the carbon dioxide become high. So the higher the carbon dioxide, the more you receive a mortality rate. So make sure every time you always make your water become clean for the fishes to absorb. And then when the water becomes clean and you are feeding them well, the temperature too is very fine for them. Simple. You get your fish, like your fish will get your table size. There like 5 to 6 months, you get your table size. Okay. That's one thing too I noticed. And then also we are talking of the harvesting. And then you see, one thing I forgot to talk of is like to cover the surface of the fish pond, because it's not all the time that you'll be at the pond side. And the predators. One may go into the fish pond to catch your fish. So one thing, you get like a net. We have a fishing net, so you can get that fishing net and then just cover it on the surface of the water, or something. Something that do not produce heat. You just cover it on the surface of the water. So if you cover it like that, you see the fish will see the weather become clear, but nothing can go into the water. Anytime that it comes to take it, no, the net will present it. So we have to take note of that. And also to the fingerless that I was talking of buying and then introduce it into the water, we don't do it in the afternoon. We do it early in the morning or late in the evening. That's where we can introduce, or we can get fishes or fingerless and introduce them into our fish pond. Okay. So before that, we go to our harvesting of the fishes. The harvesting, some of us have what's that? We have a net that we normally use, the fishing net, as I'm saying. We can use the fishing net. By then we have to drain all the water, almost all the water out, leaving a little water, so that we can see the net, we can see the fish, and then use the net to catch it gently. So that's the harvesting too. Then marketing is depend on you. How you what that how you go to your market, right, and how you sell your fish. That one depend on you. Or some of them always what that rail them for feeding their family. So that one is depend on you. So these are some of the things I have, the basic things I have in construction or going into a fish production. Thank you.
Okay.
No, what make us, sir?
Okay, Mr. Wisdom. So thanks very much. And that's it. And that's it. But yeah, so many things, but I never know. I have jotted them down. Miss Samu, Yanfa, Yana, Yan Shada, Yan Tiwinu, like, member on top of Cecilia. A very brilliant point. In fact, no point in I, no way on point. Meso Kakra made the count there, there. The general source of fishes, maybe are from the sea, from the river, from those sources. In naturally, that is where they live. That is where they live. And we bringing them home, or we trying to bring them home. No, it is. I would say we are even bleaching nature. We are cheating nature. And yeah, most if you down in there, yeah, Shawana, why, come on, so there, one natural home. Into no, Namre come there. You find that say you put you start fish farm right. Them right. Bra wisdom only can no. First, you be can apes land. Ebia yen you land. By your factors be so you consider answer. Just let that particular no. First, the topography of the land asase no ne sloping. Although the yenya asase odo kakra. Also yenya asase a we sloping. The ebia we slope dey. Yenya asase odo kakra. Asase oye a little bit clay. But say ye pen ebia constructed one da ono because we will cement into no. If a clay or sandy or a normal, but if you pen a normal one, then you need da. If I precise selection, then yeah, bra with them kind na ya pe baby in swaka crap, especially baby or yeah, clay soil. Because you need clay our high water holding capacity or two okay sum or check kakra. They say after that year on the clay soil no. After we will the second thing say the mark particular areas no. If say a square na pa square form, you mark particular areas no. And after no you introduce inlet no outlet. But before that, so after that, you market particular areas, after you go to Mr. Charles, Chino, Mokanade, so you kind of you go to Amuna.
You bet to Amra, and I said Tokro.
So
Tokro, you keep to Amra, you can see. Okay.
Very good. And you go to Amuna. Ada American cemented one, number one, middle year. Say ye to Amuna ni Amuna ni chino. I wonder most of the time from say ye to borehole like ye to straight, if you like this. But for fish farming, like ye to straight, ye careful kakra. I wonder say ye to straighter. Ne surface area ni rough, and no. And so but the aqua asano. And no say ye to straighter. Na say bibia say ebi ever ne say what can adam wa because I should edit you call as mean to ebia one day we buna watum into ye straight ye careful kakra am a top abeye a little bit working area into no ye bia also an oya waterlock area another oya clay soil into acha one or acha some weeks ya gonna insu aye muma insu aye like insu abe in na most insu na obe oye insu oye dirty kakra sorry insu the oye dirty but in the color no enye as aye pe enti no it is advisable the first insu na yebas over nede yebas na ya twegu is the first insu na yebas ya twegu on there yema insu oye bebre ebia kakra bi na ya so na ya twegu. Second one, the obey action first no kakra. Now your chemical be so what do me kai ni di no by 5 minutes makai idi no. Get she the chemical guma insulin start insulin insulin sorry insulin the particles but starts down. Na yenya insu crogene was so. It say ye insu crogene was so we are after the next thing then but introduce it fingerlings. Now, Mr. Wisdom, Okasano, Oka Bibi there. Only there, you do, only there, yes, size selection. Oh, yeah, baby, in Suwa baby. Hey, oh, yeah, baby, in the baby, because of predators. Oh, yeah, no, what was a chance? Yeah, and table voice. Oh, yeah, no, what I won't there.
Yeah, no, me check questions in go because now me hear questions you about it until they we are.
Okay. Okay. And then what in sunu okay be that about treat in sunu. Now we don't the good water pH, which is the power of hydrogen. Yehia ewo fish farming mu no neutral. Yehina yehinde neutral bi a 6 around 6.05 7 point something neutral. But say in dua fish pond ne nkyɛn ebia ne edges a enoma bɛkɔ sisi do na enoma sisi do a obviously wobanyɛ egugugu inside wɔnyɛ gugu inside so a ɔma nitrogen content yɛ high ɔma soil pH no ɔkɔ high nti ɔkɔ high a nsu no bɛyɛ acidic ɔbɛyɛ more acidic ɔbɛha mboɔ no anaasɛ ebia dead plants nso no obugu nsu no mu a dead ma yɛbra pɛyi kɛn no ɔno so wotumi na cause problem ɛna ɛwɔ dɛ yɛfa mboɔ bi te dɛ kwankwadɔ bi otumi na ɔpeke any polythene bag anaa any rubber bag bi ebia sɛ ɔpeke kɔ so na sɛ accidentally ogye mu na bag no bottom a ɛwɔ dɛ fishes also eat whatever they see. Nti ebia mboɔ no bɛ start there will feed on. But yɛnim ada ɔwɔ the bag no mu. And honestly a factor ekola or dɛ yɛ consider. Afei mepɛ dɛ yɛtwe yɛadwene fi ɔna mepɛ dɛ yɛba constructed pond ne do. Na ɔno nso mede bɛdu the same level dɛ right yɛbra pɛyi kɛn no na yɛhwɛ ne maintenance no. On a constructed pen also no also you the same factor. But on other corner you better introduce water inlet na water outlet. There say you construct a pond area. Our there yenya baby in soon about for a pay only what is the draining part. It's an area after that yenya your walls area no you be here draining part. Maybe in soon be fi pay. Na yebenya water, yebenya sort of water in a pen. What is the water inlet? Yebenya overflow. It was in case say you buy a pipe gum na say if the ever there farmer na oboy pipe there nso no unfairly adawe do no say in case if say onye available nso no oye overflowed that and body na bug outside it will create ebia column for overflow. So in case nsu oburu kra overflow no botum na age kakra. Na last year working area. Oh, no matter how big the fish pond is, we need to work on the edges. Ebia based on medication, based on feeding, so or there. Oh yeah, we need to get easy access to them all. After that, yeah, water inlet, water outlet, the next thing I mentioned. But before that, the actual temperature for fish farming, if I say 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, 20 to 30 degrees. But fish bit the tilapia to be below as 15 degrees Celsius. Cry or you're okay with it. Tilapia to be below as 15 degrees Celsius. Cry also yeah, okay with it. Then the afternoon, yamra introduction of fingerless no. Yamra yabra pay no. Okay, different technique be but na pick pa there yeah the one by inside that yeah but so nsu efi pond no mu na the very technical way pa but the other things in there all the one say yeah you want about farm wa came okay no also oh yeah and I am very far from the farm because of stress and because of the temperature changes. Most at times we say the cut off fingerless one. ebia any fish farm biara, they have some well packaged container bia what they enam no gum. What they fingerless no gum. Na wo blow oxygen. Igum bebre pa na because of traveling stress, ebia traffic and ebia nyama ebia car no le shake weather conditions no ebia embo no oma oye stretch up kakra and temperature changes no biomass the more container na wogum no nso wo no temperature enkoye there ada yeba introduce one no second thing so there sentia yepede and yempede yeba from long distance on in there on the oil find the oil container wasteland into no long distance and one on a nigumu until on nuguma osan then in soon oil small into no oma what feed this no oma oxygen content no very low and one ebia on nugum na the basu gumins almost very low kakra and introduction of fingerless into way no Mr. Wisdom the point is a very brilliant point but me so more different way me so pray me chire and me so as I mean there what contain mu no say ye to farm wa the farmer need to step in the water first say farmer or step water no more. Sometimes the packaging materials are, let's say, a plastic bowl, and I say this polybag bag. We have a very hard polybag, sir. Most of the times in good. When the farmer steps in the water, and the nasa akko in sunu na kakra, and the oracle kakra, he will release the opening part of the container, and when the origin kakra. Obviously, insu kasim nibi bafra insu small no. Insu kasim nibi bafra insu small no. Until ebia as time goes on no, and always in kankra. And no, after everyone say 1 minute interval no, otu obey ni nyala, automatically the fingerlet will not swim out of the air container because of the temperature changes. And so you're born there. Fingerless no. Waving now wako nsu kasino it will still come back because the temperature no different. It will still come back. To say what used to the temperature answer. We two na wa feel free. But say yabana say ya two mogu nsu dama ya adibia ya fanu water shock. And one by a shock automatically the fingerless can die. And today obia yɛfɛ obia ɔyɛ malaria na wadɔ bebree ɔwɔ dɛ mpɛpɛ ni sɛ yɛlugua dɛm nyimpa no a yɛstart yɛde like yɛstart na yɛwɔhoro nyimpa no n'ani ase first ansa akɔ so but sɛ yɛnyɛ mo sɛ yɛde gu no da bɔn dɛ nyimpa no wabɔ pro once ɔyɛ shock nti that one wɔfa no water shock nti sɛ yɛnyɛ ama sɛ yɛde gu no straight dɛm a and one otumina water shock that moment thanks no otumina wo na wo say sikanana washing and after that he introduce one aba pen no mu no na aka na maintenance and there osan there different weather conditions so no that time no farmer no attention very high because of almost stress from the journey and other different factors so other oil high and it is not ebia onye time and bono wabano and ebia farm on man na ele ka ko hwe we the bank that be other edibani na oil ready other edibani na ɔyɛ ready ɛsɛ ɛmbɔ no ba then right yɛbra wisdom kind no the rest are maintenance ebia small yɛwɔ actual market size but I know that the best person to determine the market size the farmer. Yes, the best person to determine because ebia yɛwɔ obiara na ne size or prefer for market size. And most attention, but every all things be equal, or there from the 1 to 6 months, I want only 200 to 455 gram weight. Or there I want new weight, or yeah, about 200 to 450 gram after 6 months. See, ebia as a good farmer, no, or that day in and day out, no, ebia etum na ye check the weight. And sometimes also no, near farmers other in there only and one big there are many factors that can affect. It's a more or that you visit ebia farmer regularly. Sometimes when I want maybe well no other than any up and one can no was so no. Yenim yalaba okunu. Is ABS or yellow tomb na or transfer from one fish to the other. In fact, automatically, omina do. And fish farming, when you lose, you can lose all. When you win all. Because although omina were the same pen, they drink the same water, they are in the same room. I'm kind of. And he said, Yalaba Simo, very fast, or very easy there, or best spreading. Because I'm the same room, the same pool, the same water, the same environment. But a bad day, so then, if you're basic, but in case, lack of management, but that's and one, maybe yes, I'm one year, what you na, also when you're from the class. You was school, no, another year school time, and now obia, or yeah, best in feeding of fish, brother Bernard. Abano fishes na no maintenance na brother Bernard. I very good. Nti me would also waba online. But before that, if there will be a chance for questions another day, brother Bernard in only feeding na the questions so another day. The questions no answer. Mr. Bernard Achado.
mɛpɛ sɛ kɛ yɛma Mr. Bernard ntoa so. Otoa so wie na nanka afei na me so meanwhile mede ne contact no link ne to hɔ. Na afei nti no ɔnwie no na ɛsɛ nkɔfoɔ nso atumi ajoin why. Nti Mr. Bernard hyɛ wote nka a yɛma wakɔ aba ne adagye a wɔnya de ba join.
Eja. Mr. Charles, I'm in sure bebree.
Amen.
Captain Francis, I said,
Yes, sir.
Please, do we have a brother Wisdom with us, Mr. Wisdom?
Yes.
My
Our
greetings,
boss.
sir. Yeah, our boss. I am very much sorry. My journey late.
Yes, I was.
Yes. Please, I'm very happy to come here today again. But brother Francis and brother Wisdom, they have said much. So I will support that. Questions in Embra. Yes, questions in Embra na into a program also. But before the questions will come, I'm joining brother Francis Eka about introduction of the fingerlings. Very important in fish farming. I want to contribute something small there. It's very important when it comes to fish farming. Fish now, your beginning with them start from the fingerlings. Please, let me just go with the English. I beg. I'm not good at tree. So, if you don't take good care of your fingerlings, when you are introducing them into the fish pond, you are likely to lose everything. Just as he said, when you are taking them from and when you are bringing them to your farm, at least you have to consider the distance. It shouldn't be too much long distance, so you will not stress them. If not, before you get to the place and come to your fish farm, you are likely to lose a good number of your fingerlings. So you have to consider the distance. And the method he gave when you are introducing them into the fish pond and that of Mr. Wisdom Home, they are very good and very practical and good to go. It's very detailed. Whoever that is listening to us, you have to consider it. If not, say farm one banner instantly, you will kill them, because you are bringing them from a different environment into a new environment. So you have to make sure that the temperature of your fingerlings package and that of the temperature of the fish pond water should be uniform before you allow them in, so that you can get your fish to be in good condition. I don't want to repeat because I joined late. I'm sure they have said all these things. But what I'm just trying to say is your maintenance starts from the introduction of your fingerlings. So, Mr. Charles, please, let's welcome the questions so that we can go on with the program. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mr. Bernard.
Yes.
But when Mr. Wisdom, first question I say, which tools or sign do I need to check the oxygen content in the pond?
All right. Thank you. Brother Francis, I always refer you Justice because of your younger brother. Forgive me. Please, you have to do some little interpretation here for us with the tree. Is that going to help?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So with your oxygen, the sign or the tools that you need to know to check your oxygen content in the pond. I don't know of any tool yet, but I know of signs.
Okay.
The signs are very clear, because when your water is too much dirty in the fish pond, the oxygen content is going to decrease and the carbon dioxide content in the water will increase, and it will suffocate your fish or your fingerlings. So one of the best way to avoid getting your water turbid, how will you explain that one, Brother Francis?
Water what?
Or debris, to avoid the debris on the surface of the water.
Okay.
Can I?
Oh, you continue. After I will explain it. Very simple.
So when there is too much debris on the surface of the water will be very greenish. It will be very greenish and it will be very tumbly. We are talking about the turbidity of the water here. So those debris there will introduce too much carbon dioxide in the water and little oxygen in the water. And another signs that your fish are lacking oxygen is they will be raising their head. When they are in the water, you see that they will be raising their head above the surface of the water level in the pond for them to get oxygen outside. It's a sign to let you know that your fish is lacking oxygen. This is the little I can give. Mr. Wisdom, do you have anything to add to this question?
Okay. Brother Bernard, as you say, you have already settled because practically me, what I have done, I know there are tools, but I don't know any tool. I don't know any tool to know, but the science in the that's all what Bernard say. The dirtiness of the water will reduce the oxygen content. So the dirtiness, you will not leave the water to become dirty. When the water becomes dirty, no, the oxygen content become very low. And then one of the biggest signs you will know that the oxygen content is very low is what Bernard said. You will see even early morning, if you want to get up around 5 o'clock and go to the fish pond, if you go, you see all the fishes, their heads are on the surface of the water, and then they will open their mouths on top of the water. It means they are trying to get the oxygen outside the water. So in the morning, in the morning the weather is always cool. That time the oxygen is supposed to be very good for them. But if you go and see them on that condition, know that the oxygen content in the water is very low. So those are the two signs I also know about. But for tools in the before anything, I don't know any tools. I don't know any tools. Thank you.
Okay. Yɛdamase. Yɛn nuaba adwoa ɛwɔ line so mma yɛn musa no a yɛma no akɔaba. Yɛn nuaba adwoa bakyɛ akɔaba. Ɔbaa pani.
CEO of SOS Anadwi Mechiao.
Ayeka. Yɛn nua.
Oniabema Francis. Aiko Mechiao nso.
Yeah, soft mommy. I don't know.
I say Odia Sofata, I never say me.
What the somebody fight the TDA and the Edumano. TDA.
The answer was here. For wisdom.
Efo wisdom bakyɛ yɛfrɛ wo.
Yes, my dear sister.
Madam Kumado Banon.
Jesus.
Oh, I'm not a fool.
You are not a fool.
I'm not a fool. I'm not a fool. Yes, please.
And Medoka number 9 for
I'm a Dagati.
Okay, you and your brother, I greet you all. Meaning the main country is a make up for me from Frafra, made the best I'll mix it. I say Gary Soakins now. So I say, ye ndo for the bida, but maybe I can cry in one as a beginner. If you want to go into fish farming, it is good when you are going with juveniles instead of fingerlings. You see, the fingerlings, you have no idea, and controlling fingerlings are very, very difficult. And I think that it will be appropriate if you can start with juveniles to know the conditions in which you go through for the first and second time, but then you have experience with it before you can start with the fingerlings. And the little idea I also have is regarding those ones, it's quite easier to handle than the fingerlings. All the same, I think if you can break those two down for us, it will be well with us. Bio so si yeka bibi fa we ho yeka no say transport, means of transporting them no. Ebi amemi fra kurase mabetra nkran na so abrabo na ndi amboa me. So me tu asa komenji. Ebi na meti abogise nkwanta. Na efri nkran de kwa abogise nkwanta no ka be take me don hwere me ensa. Yeka don hwere me ensa, that means 3 hours before I get to abogise nkwanta. Na eho na me wasase. Me de kwa akoye me fish farming. Ebi eho nso na menya baby a metu me pond. Ma prepare me pond a bibia me kwa akofa emoy aba. Now see distance no. Emboa me a ebia na me siren ana me territory no mu ho no. East region na ebia na obi ani ho a oyen emoa na nketo a menya juveniles ana say fingerlings ni bia to na mmom ebia baby te sense wam. Ado agiri ho no baby ana say ebia main Accra na menya bia to. Ekwan ben so na mefa so because ni mimi ni se ukwan wa aya na nkɔfoɔ tumi fa bi firi Kumase ne n'asefoɔ de ba Eastern ɛba Koforidua mpatam hɔ ne de kɔ anyinam hɔ side no. Nea menim ne sɛ wokɔtɔ mmoa no na wobɛyɛ safe a anadwo anaasɛ ahomakye ɛna ɛyɛ safe a wobɛtumi de ɔmo ayɛ den atu. But daytime sɛ sunlight ne pie a ɛnyɛ healthy ɛmfa mma mmoa no. Enti process bɛn ne yɛbɛtumi ayɛ a yɛde ɛboa ma yɛtumi atransport sɛ mmoa yi ɛfiri baabi a yɛkɔtɔɛ no de akɔ akɔdu abɔgyesɛ nkwanta. Ɛno ne me haw baako. Nti sɛ mobɛtumi akyerɛkyerɛ mu aboa a, sɛ metu ahomakye a, bɛyɛ sɛ ahomakye time bɛn because mama duration ne sɛ dɔnhwere 3 na mede bɛfiri baabi a merekɔ no de akɔdu abɔgyesɛ nkwanta. Nti ɛyɛ sɛ mokyerɛkyerɛ mu yie. Mennim hwee fa fish farming ho. Okuani afei na mebɛhyɛ aseɛ beginner. Nti no, mama ɛhɔ no nsu ma me. I think sɛ mede bɛsi ase yɛ biribi foforɔ ɛba a mede ara na mataatoɔ ɛretwɛn answers no nti no meretwɛn mo. Deɛ ma mmoa yi kɔ nso.
Wow. Also. All right, madam. Thank you for your question and then this contribution. Even with your question, you have given the tips and the answers already. Yes. Just like please, our poultry farmers that are listening to us, how we treat the whole chicks is the same way we treat the juveniles or the fingerlings when you are transporting them.
The chicks in India and Ferma how now the Bahadia and a behuna money. And no, you mentioned that Reverend Francis
Patrameba way transportation in a media comparison and yeah about their management. Okay. So this is an Audi can carry. The best time for you is early in the morning or dawn or late in the evening. That is the best time. And 3 hours for you to transport your fingerlings is not a bad time period. You will not have any effect on them.
Sure.
So
and it's the same yes. 5 hours.
So if you are transporting them within this time frame, public transport. Because if you have a private transport, you will get a very relaxable place that you can just relax in your car and take care of your fingerlings, or a very good place that you control even the driving. There will not be too much shaking, because the shaking is no does na a bomb this side, na a bomb over this side. And then brother Francis, it will introduce stress, and this stress will expose them to the maximum energy that they can retain themselves. So the best way to transport your fingerlings within 3 hours or 4 hours is early in the morning or dawn or late in the evening. That is the time, the best hours that you can transport them. It shouldn't be the daytime. If not, the temperature will go high and the stress too will go very high. That is the little I can give to you concerning your inquiries. Brother Francis, Mr. Wisdom.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Me patro mamensa muso se okase or private transporter. Me to into a private transporter. So you assuming say me kwa public transport na me to baby to say a front seat no na me matanafa na ma handle with care na other side me mo bia metna ho no mato na bia in terms say me fingerlings and say me juveniles ni google on mo a metimi a protect no eno no so no stress betimi ama na high na say ebeso ebeti abafom.
Mami, it is a very good practice. I've wanted to bring that one in after your consent. It's very good if you are taking the public transport, if you can afford 2 seats, like say car na 2 seats, and as a 3 seater, the best way is you should give enough space. But so the best advice, just as you said, that we will support you. Nanka person fan count our boss and one say you buy the 2 seats.
Any an
So that
adwuma mo pa mo betua ni nyina aka ba ku bia 5 cedis. Work and happiness, don't mind. Why? Don't mind. Work and happiness. Work with that
you buy
play, it
the 2
makes it dull.
seats. You buy the 2 seats, and 1 seat will occupy your fingerlings or your juveniles closer to you. Then you keep an eye on them. You watch them. You make sure that, say, a shakia, you position it in a right position. Now, we don't have to draw a phone.
That's
Pacho, we okay.
Oh, Obi Abasman nkasa me dem udi machidia me ama question be 3,000. Do dem obi so kasa
Pacho, brother, brother Francis, person on kasa.
Yes, sir. We
say teacher, brother, ambulance my also ba no so.
Maninkasa ni we are now
Yo, Mate, that's it. Brother Francis, what you make sir?
okay, madam say. Soft mama kasa no akabi bibi said.
Hey, what can you?
Maza. Oh yeah, me dem make akuti ama baby awo.
But what first question I say, juvenile state, no, like what was the exact question?
So I say okurasi ni amendo fu da na me kwa chef ase.
Okay.
Na me fiti ya bibi ti say emoa yen ti say fish minim hu nim die bia. Afi na me fa say bia mabaya so so. Abaje hu nim die. Na me kwashase with fingerlings na mo ho ahomete. Echen juveniles nti ase beginner no. Ehun hia say meko fingerlings and say meko juvenile because nka me madwemu no. Me dream say juveniles no ebe ye more good ama me beginner no because me fa juvenile no FM 1-2 ebe better but se me kwasha say with fingerlings and me new experience bia na ade enti no I think say mama me nchiremu kakra ho no na me hwe say juveniles na ne fingerlings na he na eye my question na na nkan bi wa na enti na wa.
No, say I'm very proud to be part of this family and not just watching. We doing what we are learning here.
Piao. Yes, sister.
Eddie, sister. Eddie, brother.
Oh, make yes, na woman.
Okay, because Kaka of Mammy and Kamitias.
Soft mommy, mommy effort.
Of a chance was no. My twa one plot of from what ba uni asasi baby.
Okay, but Cynthia, you prefer fingerlings over juveniles and only in there. You have a baby today. Jacob pet. You have baby today. Come and a moment for fun. Then come and be an model. Come and dog. I want the most at times no. Say Jacob pet. Yet on at the young stage. On Oma, not it very simple. But say yet pet or your penina. On there. Ebia ne particular locality or no, he like that pet no why adjust to that environment no. And so say pet in your penina say any different. Come aba kumasa obecha parasa wa adopt the environment no. But so oye small friend oye small wa one popular. That pet sees that place to be the first place into no automatically. Obafa nti ya fa emra fish farming fish muso so why fingerless now first it is the first environment they find themselves there or the mamakanda or first environment but so when you need a kada I don't know they have or I said they are already used to the initial pond initial management, ABR, based on their feeding, their medication, medicals, BPR were used to already. And just say, you know, by new penuma, it's like different environment. They are now coming to learn how to adjust the environment answer. And it is even like Kilipoda said, and before they can even survive, and before they can even stand, they will reduce in production. Because ABR first we feed on anapa 6:30, but in one ben if feed on anapa 7 o'clock, there is a question there. ABR na first na you feed one twice a day, but ABR first na we feed one twice a day. After you know about new environment, you feed them twice a day. There is a problem. The last one, the temperature of the water. On the ABR, baby, I want on the way. ABR, the temperature, no, what's it? But and you say, yeah, never new place. Why I paying now? First, I want to be answer. Why, and the animal will find it difficult to adjust the weather condition and the maintenance, the environment answer. But that is step of production. And now, ABR, the ABR say, okay, no wa. Now say in tuma. Most at times mistake our farmers why and there. One ma ABR baby a wakoto fingerless and wangasa was about farm.
Francis, my main announcement will have say. Of a Felix way, Borum, Naja, Chirihona, or Borum, never treated. Why? And that's it. Me pato manenko.
Okay. I want to empemp you know. Yeah, you prefer that because of transportation costs into no. And what my fingerless no. And what they and one baba your farm. Sabuka fra the painful there are there papa us there are there papa on a wawodi. It's the best in the if it were village info one can some quarter wide enough for umbra. Because I will now I will not oil whisker. You know how valuable it is, how you can under like your finger listening. You get even if for your public transport cry, it is when and I say it is when it is city now so cry and you do ya basing up babonaji wagon. But say I say what the small worker a could from the on no one on your nisika and the fingerless are also out of farm. It is a bibi to walk cry on fan want to know. It's a kind of what them cry our day wangasa ekofa wade. Na same so advisable day be yede ye baba in night and early in the morning. Then ye bra pin okay no. The other factors of ABR traffic during the night. Those are during the night traffic but not as to the day no. So also because traffic could na delay your time.
Oh, time no dear me, I hadn't said that because me and Casa make up with the same quanta, with me free a crab 2 a.m.
Okay, and just come back.
2 a.m. me to be from a china 4 a.m. Number do and I say be a 5 the number do. And the other china say me Pia will be some so me bye now training, so meant to be that. To me and I drop you. Yeah, you know, the achi and your high.
Okay,
Time no dear, share any problem.
okay.
I would want a person make a fountain an idea. You're very careful.
So,
Mr.
mommy,
Francis,
mommy, hey, papa, now so baby.
please, are you done with your answers?
Yes, I'm done with my answers.
Okay, please, I want to add something later to your answer.
Yes, sir.
All right. Please, with the fingerlings and the juveniles, even aside that, when it comes to our agribusiness or the animal production, your catfishes, nay others in bone, we always advise that you start with the small ones, the babies. That is the best option for you to go. So just as our mother said, if you don't have any idea or you don't have a experience, then my recommendation is you look for somebody. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry. Masa, I had
We
the
are
idea,
banter
bro.
anyway. We are mommy.
We are first time there. Be straight.
Yeah,
Idea,
Mate.
don't worry.
Yeah, Mate. So the best thing is you will get somebody who is already into it. Then you
Like
attach
wisdom.
the person to yourself. Then the person will start with the fingerless. Then you'll be looking at them, you'll be studying. Because when you start with the fingerless, it also helps you to learn the life stage of the fishes. So when you say fish, you may find it free this stage. A do stage, yeah. This is how they change. This is how their behavior is. This is how, because with the juvenile, they have gotten to a stage that we can even consume them. Like those are the fish, the one that the Kenke people use. The Kenke people use. They fry them as
1,000.
ichina. Thank you, 1,000. And so they are already fish. And the stress when you are bringing them, into a newborn is very higher than using the fingerless, and the mortality rate is going to be very high as compared to the fingerless, just as Brother Francis has laid it down very well, because the possibility or the probability of they getting used to the environment as fingerless is very considerate, and it is very high than the juveniles that you are bringing, because for them they have even gotten to the stage of becoming a fish, and you are now taking them from that environment to a new one. So the stress will be very high as compared to the fingerless. So whoever that is listening to us and you want to start a fish pond, or you are already into it, I will recommend to you that you always go by the fingerless. Thank you.
Yo, yeah, that's it. Brother, I'll say,
Yeah.
boss, Aquaba.
Yeah. Busuafo mo adwo mo adwuma pa mo ye. Da mo ase.
Yeah, bro.
Ready kakra mi bisa ne se o koye fish no say bi a wow like wow be kwakoto omo feed na be feed o mo say wow be feed no ni mi no de na ye na say bi omo nim ho so e ka be fa so e bi a wow person prepare feed no e ka be fa so e bi a obeye na machine bi e be boa wa na so mo cheche mo fra che na de bi na ye koye bi na yakoye na kesi se be ya ye na be feed o mo no o de me dia me bisa no.
Why are there? Why are there? One near compacho, Mr. Bernard.
Mr. Francis name Mr. Wisdom.
Okay.
Let us see. But if I show the calling down, the calling group, there are some chibia, ebia said, ya can't measure that mental people.
Are they? Same.
Like, it is the question, so Obutumna will still a crack.
Opa, or say, and one feeding, no. I am here, so all come for a who be here say, and I try say, or cut feed no abonting, already made feed. And I say, who be here, so on one casabe any feed, it will fear. Now, so no one casabe any feeder. Component bɛn anaasɛ combination bɛn na ɔde bɛ formulate ɔno ankasa ne feed wɔ fie na machine bi nso wɔ hɔnom a ɛbɛboa sɛ ɔno abɛ formulate ne ɔno ankasa ne feed a mɔmmoa no anaa nyɛ saa.
Pio.
Okay.
Why are there?
Okay. And you know, me that say the best thing that motum na maka on the farm na ekwafa embo no efinu. You will request for their starter. Farm na ekwafa embo no efinu. Definitely, they need to give you a feed about. Okay, it depends on the quantity of fingerless I got about. Or that itum na a request. one feed. And second thing is in there. After that, in one of your brother soup over there, I prefer to beginning there. You will talk some commercial feed. I'm on kakra. So they adjust with the environment. So I don't know. And I said, we took no environment here come and they said we will do some even after 2 months now on they can eat any food you give them they will eat. Any recommended food they will eat. In the yafa I'm for about one for I'm for out down crow or that woman breast milk or down cry the whole world any panel mission one mom a breast milk any manumbi and you know for the beginning they our there you providing with the recommended formulated feed now at least utumina again ni size kakra and we ni as a utumina marker for now and now for feeder ijadema we so or you will feed for commercial purpose now ebia non-commercial purpose for commercial purpose no because we are much emphasizing on the weight and the size we prefer most people prefer formulated feed because some components of their feed will are very scarce. What am kind of very scarce kakra. And you know some prefer, but their feed is somehow in a pellet form. Now one where are minimum years even fish fish any bone meal fish one powdered fish and bone meal say ya bone meal say yes na CV na away smooth and also yeah one thing and baako bi second on ya fra na yeah in platform but it also based on the size or the size particle of the feed determined by their age. And you know, also when in platform, like when you're in powdered form, when in platform. Only but for yeah, local fish city on the area say yeah more panel cry body. One phone yeah and one push output it. Yamo pano body yamo emo bibia but our there edibena yede mo say when tumna when the area yeah fast na yeah son in afido and the man it also cause problem until we feed out ebia for now no dey nti ebia yes na man wisdom on the we feed with some for so many years ebia ono botum na wa ma detailed feed for that's it.
Yo, yan said that's it. Mr. Wisdom, woni ho ofre so kakra. Okay. Me bachom ansana ye nua ye mpani Mr. Ferris beba no. Me bese me busa mo question mi ansa be. Fish pond no. Fin wa no, ye tu for mo no. Na de ka ne konka mu de no. Ene tarpaulin no. De na oji seye. First one. Question me come brother Ben and Mr. Francis.
Okay.
All right. Brother Francis, go on.
Mr. Okay. So kafa employee na whiskana ochina wabum. Whisk wabum. And it based on your capital and the resource you have no. And about to na watch it. But if the all things be equal and ebia to me no market that cemented one year best because for that one you can get water outlet and water inlet available your overflow available. You can also regulate the temperature anytime needed. You can also regulate the temperature anytime needed. You can also even go ahead and wash in when needed. Go ahead and wash in when needed. And this question have even bring a point we lost. If I can chip it inside that.
Okay.
How to determine whether the temperature is high or low in fish farming? No? I would say for fish farming, their behaviors would even tell us what they need. And so quite for the one there, temperature no I will high as or low no there. If the temperature no now no you're doing baby and body na cut down and body na cut down the pond. If there is a shade of a particular tree, they will go to that direction.
Okay.
And above the ABI temperature no high. But if the temperature no it say young dama ada ya bend there you be drain the insunu na you go fresh water egumu because fresh water here cold.
Okay.
You be insunu na say you drain one so you drain insunu ni na that be you drain it kakra ebia like ye kakra na you go fresh water egumu. But say ebia say temperature no so lower but e won na embo ni na wa ba insu nanyi na wɔdededa nsu nanyi ɔne ada abotom na dede ehu wei ɛna yɛn sister na another yɛn brother sɛ wɔn na ɔpɛ some instruments a yɛwotumi yɛ de determine the pH level of
Yeah.
ɔmo nsu no yɛwɔ biribi a yɛfɔ no electrical water pH. Yes, electrical water pH. Ɔyɛ ɛnba ibi yɛ electrical na ibi so yɛ water pH detector.
Okay.
Yeah, water pH detector. And also ebotumi na ɛda yɛ nti we ne answers for these two questions no. If Mr. Bernard if say yɛ available your word na
Okay.
fa.
Thank you, Mr. Francis. I am available. All right. Thank you, Mr. Charles, for this very good question. Yes, you know, the fish, naturally, their habitat or ecosystem is the natural environment that they are in. So if you are taking them from that place, you should be able to do what? Create a similar and closer environment that is to that of the natural one that you are taking them out and bring them. Just as brother Francis said, commercially, you can go by the concrete ponds that you will get them closer to you. Because of land issues and land availability, you may not likely get the earthen pond if you don't have that opportunity or much land. So, but with a little land, you can create the concrete ones. Yes, you can create the concrete ones. And that is why you have to put measures in place to always create them their natural environment. But aside that, no, you can't compare the earthen pond to the concrete pond because the earthen pond give them 100% natural environment. The earthen pond give them their 100% natural environment.
Okay.
But because of commercial farming and the land issues, we recommend that you should go for the concrete one. But if you have the land large available that you can use, then we'll also recommend the earthen pond for you because that one you are giving them the 100% natural environment.
Okay.
And talking about the tarpaulin,
Yeah.
it's not a good practice.
Oh, finally I found somebody who said it. Okay. The pacho.
It's not a good practice, and we mostly see this practice in catfish production. It's
Yeah.
not a good practice. Brother Wisdom, I don't know if he's online because he's telling me about this. We are discussing about this tapoli issue, and he told me that the tapoli easily generate heat. It easily generate heat, so it's not good that we should be using it. And we are trying to create an environment that will be very conducive for the
The
fish
fish.
to live in. So when you are using the tarpaulin, you are not allowing an evenly eration of oxygen and other factors that create the environment for the fish to
Yeah.
do what? To live in. So please, if you are listening to us, we are not advising you to use the tarpaulin in your fish pond. It is not good. It has a lot of effects. Yes,
Okay.
because it can easily expose your fish to diseases. It can easily expose them to diseases, and then it will terminate their environment because of the heat that the tarpaulin generates. So it
Yeah.
is not a good practice, Mr. Charles. Thank you.
Okay.
Papa,
You.
I have something to say here. For instance, like you just said, that the tarpaulin is not a good practice. You have given some details regarding that. We appreciate that concern. But for me to express my concern, it could be that I do not have a land
Yeah.
where I'm going to dig earth pond for this fish, but I'm very interested in these practices, or I'm very interested in this business. Let's say in a broad way, agro business. I don't have the land to dig the earth pond. The same way, if I am supposed to go for the block pond, I don't also have the land. Then why do I have to go and then build such thing on someone's land, whereby the
Oh,
person can easily come and jump into it one day that, my friend, move everything from my land, I'm coming for my land. But when it comes to the tarpaulin, I think it is kind of moderate, but like you said, it is not good practice. But I think in other means, people are using it for the sake of some reasons, such as what I'm expressing now, because although it is not good, but it is easily. For instance, if I've asked or hide someone's land and the person is coming for the land, it is easy to remove, very easy to remove them, and not cause any kind of damage on the person's land or anything that is going to cause me also harm in terms of losing my income. So in this situation, like you recommend that it is not good, what are the other things you can do to replace the tarpaulin that will provide a convenient place for
Let
this
me have him
fish
kaka.
to live in a comfortable zone?
me
All right.
patrol. Yeah, Mr.
Thank you,
Felix here.
madam.
Hello,
Pacho,
please let me say something, please. My my phone is disturbing me. Why? My batteries is disturbing me.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I want to
Kasa.
contribute this. So even see, I can't hear anything that is going on again. But what I was
But we
trying
Go
can
to
hear
on.
answer
you.
is when our sister was talking about the what's that, the fingerless, and then there was that
The juveniles.
uh, I forgot,
The juveniles.
the juveniles. Yes, yes. I was trying to say something about it. Like, let's assume when you take a small boy, like a baby, and an adult, or what's that? The way the what's that? The way what's that? They come, like the way they what's that? They absorb or they get land. What I want to mean is that, like, when you send a juvenile to your hometown or to your place to rail, the challenges that you face will be more than even the fingerless you are talking of, because the juniors, they have already matured, they have passed some stages. So in that way, they have absorbed their environment there. So if you remove them and you send them to a different place, the environment, or they get to to go with the environment. But when you take the fingerless there, it's easy for them to cope. Just that they will pass through a long way before they.
Okay. Sure.
All right. Brother
Also,
Wisdom
to
is
as you are also
describing
learning
statistics.
the fingerless, you are also observing some signs, so that if anybody comes, you can also lecture the person. You are not always learning for for market purpose or for interest only, but to also educate something from the fish pond. So if you get the juvenile and you go and rail, you not get some of the question or some of the you not get some of the mind in railing fish. So that's why I always advise to go for a fingerless. But that one
Okay.
is your choice. If you know that the fingerless will delay your time, then it's good for you. It's good for you to leave it. I'll beg your
Thank
pardon.
you.
My phone is disturbing me. That's why I always come. I always come and go, come and go. My phone is disturbing me, please.
Okay.
Even now we are
That's
talking.
Don't worry.
I have even plugged it on charge and I'm using it.
all
Yeah.
right.
Don't worry.
Okay, please.
All right.
I want
Remember
to
that.
respond to the sister's concern about the Tapoli issue. Uh, in fact, whoever that is listening to us, Agric is the best place to be. I recommend Agric to you. Yes, for a lot of reasons. For economics, for economic for economics purposes, we have other alternatives that we can respond to this issue. But please, let me use this platform to say this. One of the major problems we have here is Ghana, we don't take much concern of our animals. The health of our animals, we don't take much concern about that. Because the animal that you are going into or the business that you are going into, you want this animal to give you a resource. From the resource which become your value or your product to generate your income. But it is not to torture the animal. So if you are going into animal production, you will not have time for them. You not take
Yeah.
good care of them as you take care of any other being. I will not advise you to go into that because it is not a good idea. And for you to use the tarpaulin, we have the white one. The white one is a heat resistance as compared to the black one.
Okay.
So we can say for economic purposes, just as our sister raised the concern, maybe you don't have the resources, you don't have the land, but you are very much interested in this thing that you want to do. We can tell you that you can still use it, but you should place it under a cool environment, a place where it will be away from heat. A place where it will be away from heat. Yes, you can go by that. You can go by that. But aside that, the reason why I will not support, some people may still have the resources. But the moment Otis Obika say, yeah, and one obey, so that is why some of the concerns, although we have other alternative or factors that may come in, but if we have the best to go by, let us go by the best. That is a little I can say to that. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay. Yeah,
All
that's
right,
it.
Joe.
Mr.
That's
Boris,
it.
Aquaba.
Yes. Yeah, Mr. Mumichi Obia. I mentioned I'm going to my palm. I hope so. Be at Minka.
Yetunka, so watch it.
Yo, Papa. I'm saying. It's some bread and the Obia can be also here, but there are some few comments. First of all, my main can't Tapolini who has some crack. Yeah, brother can't set Tapolini yet. So, I'm saying we are saying it depends on how you use things. BBR, it depends on how you are using it. Say Tapolini and Casano. Yeah, well, tarpaulins are they are specially designed for that reason.
Okay.
So they
Okay.
are specially designed for that reason. Things yeah. The reason is this generate heat. How
Okay.
does it generate heat? So you
Okay.
don't just trust it. You find a sustainable way of using it because there are a lot of people here that are using it. The reason is some of them are specifically designed for fish farming. Inti anu na also the yet a na also use. So but those ones now they are specifically designed for fish farming. That is the one you are looking for.
Yeah.
So now but you do it in such a way that it is more sustainable. In the fish farming, they are only about three things you should be able to control. Fish is very fine. Temperature, the fingers or the juveniles, the big fishes, they should be fine.
Okay.
Whilst we are looking for best systems, we should also right. I said these systems are there, but it depends how our whole person are there, who use and which material you are using for that system. So now you have to say feeding. I was say one now manufacture now say now the feed the fingerlings now. I don't know if that was the question, but I think somebody was asking about that. What I can say about that is fish farming and Kasano, about 50% of your variable cost, it will come out of feed. So now, to me manufacture your own feeder, you are going to reduce that production cost. So
Okay.
the only thing is make sure the feed you are producing contains about 35% protein.
Yeah.
For the fingers, as they grow, now reduce the content of the protein to about 28 to 32%. So if you are able to manufacture your own feed within that range, you can feed them. As a matter of fact, you feed your fingerless once a day. So
Okay.
but you always want to monitor how the water quality is. And in here, there are some situations that you can use the earth method, you can
Yeah.
use the barrel method, you can use the tap method. But if
Yeah.
you don't control the oxygen level, if you don't control the pH level, if you don't control the temperature level, it doesn't matter which system you are using. It's still not going to work for you. So, whilst we are giving the systems, we are share advantages, not disadvantages, and the coin ever fast why you be improve the system rather than to just trash it and say
Yeah.
it is not good. So,
Wow.
transporting the fingerlings, it depends on the number. Make said a small if you are transporting small quantity, which may use plastic bag. But you just
Okay.
want to make sure the oxygen level is right. So that's the most important thing. But if it is a very large quantity, if we are using the hauling tanks, example, tanks here, very cheap ones, I say, or friend, oil, carry oil, so palm oil, those kind of things. Need top,
Yeah.
so but you just want to make sure while you are transporting them, the water temperature is right, and then the oxygen is right. That is what reduces the stress on the fingerlings.
Yeah.
So, send your organ over to me, alpha commercial bars. So, because anything say a very small quantity, you can do that. But if it's a very big quantity, then you probably have to hire somebody to help you with that. But small quantities in it, you are using those little tanks and then also plastic bags. making sure say or more feed or making sure say the temperature is right, making sure say the what they call it, the pH is right and the oxygen level is right. Said those things are controlled. You can travel with them for whatever hours and they will be fine. It's in the kakran that's
yes, you're nice.
And then free so me pato I said like the way our kasano you are talking from experience. Me person musa be nyamine so ne say yes every week bi ana so person on treat enwa no well every week bi ana change your one share obetumi blend bitter leaf ede ama enwa no ana wo dia fra ensuo no ana say mint leaf na wode afra but money nye so thick ubema nsuo na is like very light
Okay.
greenish na the amount I think they say every week be and once in a week, very healthy. It protect it and one free, especially when we use tapolin phone, prevent it and one free say on any kind of infection. And I start to warm on growth. No, I don't know how true that is. From the way you are talking, I feel like you are talking from experience. I mean,
who said nah, who said I brand new say Ghana no yeah farming yeah shada and take care of our animals too much. A business now we so it's you have to look for things ever our business no. So maybe will be na but personally no, scientifically no, me who be say oh yes, what I've seen people do is they use a very simple uh aerator. So a very simple aerator. They put it in the tank or whatever to aerate the our friend the pond and as a tank, so that there's a constant circulation to allow oxygen to go through. So we are sana they are not stressed. When they are stressed, it predisposed them to several diseases. But if they are not stressed, it's a way of preventing diseases. So in this ultimate control some your money now, you really don't need to add bitter leaf or whatever leaf it is, to those things. If it works, fine. But scientifically, I cannot prove it. So I cannot say that is what it works. But there are other things out there. Medications for fish farming, feed for fish farming, aerators for fish farming. Those things, make use of them instead of trying to go traditional way. Because a business now, and you don't want a situation now, would it be or friend the open one, then later it causes a lot of problems and your fingerlings start dying and that kind of thing. You want to think business, you want to think scientifically and how you can improve on your fingerlings. Fingerlings health is very important.
all right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Okay, boss, yeah, that's it. So, sister, and then your boss, with the aerator, you can even create a biofilter system. Yes, with the aerator, you can use it to design a biofilter system. Over construct it, send a every day, and I say within a week, every 3 days, you will pump the water from the pond into the biofilter system. Now, a filtering soon, then the water will still pump back into the fish pond, and it is a very good way you can use to manage your water system in fishing. Yeah, use it bidder. Yes, yeah, bidder.
Okay.
So, and one that's it.
So another
Yo.
sign is you have to pump it every day, and that's like maybe every 3 days.
Oh,
Do they have any?
not every day, but at least every 3 days. Every 3 days within the week, you can just pump the water. And as we say, then you pump it into the biofilter. then a filter in sunu you now start pump it back to the fish pond.
Okay.
That's it. I'm saying, Befa, 2 more questions now, and one. Brother Omar, say, please, what about the big containers used by some farmers? What about the big containers used by some farmers?
Pacho, with this question, your boss, Pacho boss Felix, one, Pacho the Felix.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all right.
Yes, the concern of the raise here with the experience not the buy, it is just for both answers. Because we use it big tank and as a container, and your container being will be using. So please,
Okay.
Mr. Francis, I would love you to come in for this question. Pacho my NTU.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Francis, what's the point? If you say, at the end, asa, no, West
Okay.
Sorinto, in the time, and say, we say, oh, what me call. Say, obi can be wa. You see, Mr. Wisdom also soon to me because for the battle, it is a car, but I can't say, who will be can at the fast so and answer so be so be for beer. Na yɛmfa nsia.
Pacho, Mr. Felix, who will be cow question on my bisa about the containers na farmers need be using na.
Yeah, containers, poly containers, so it's good to use it. But and I make an you come out, what's set up your system. So what system setting up here, your inlet system, your outlet system, your aerator system, your feeding system, all those systems, so setting here. That is when you have problems. Internet is good. So I will be a different way who use your tank, So it can be the white tank, it can be blue tank, it can be black tank, it can be whatever tank. But make sure, sir, you have a very good system able control the water and also help with a aeration system. So and yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Brother Francis. Bro.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Me tio. Me wo so asaba. Oh, na obi kana.
I naka miyada.
No problem. Yeah, the last 2 questions pe Brai. Mr. Omar was say what about the big contents ye omoyi ano nti no ka last one. Na me ankasa me de na me de ba. Mostly my enua nsi pon no. But se medua kube na se metimi nye pon no wo kube ni ntentem ase.
Na idea that ye too, I should also ye too, I think man, they also worry. What I should there.
Yeah.
The one said, you were the best thing able to me. I or fish one say, about do flowers around the pond.
Okay.
You do flowers around the pond. And I say, the bodia, if there will be trees to cry, the
Yeah.
trees will be close. And you say, trees are close. If I say, the branches, like the branches should not cover the pond.
Yeah.
On there, the branches cover pond because no matter what you see, branches in the door. But if so, our entire kakra, no or kama because the shade na ye here for embono ye dua flowers wɔ pond ne nkyɛnkyɛn ne de ɔyɛ very good paa medase
Wow, yes, that's me no me na me say me say bia me kwa kosi siku bebia sisi nsuo no na se mo se be mwa dia mate. Yes sister, she inspires.
Yeah,
Was it
the reason why Francis Casa no. So
was it
what you think?
me ba sha fe yet mete.
I'm sure Cynthia I'm the reception here.
Okay,
But
okay, no.
the reason why Francis Casa me in India tall ones I will pon on say
Uh-huh.
instead of Casa is that no mamba be so. So
Yeah.
so no man basis no omone etu mu ana say leaves no be to mu a so
Yeah. Yeah.
it decompose.
Ah.
It causes eutrophication. It enriches the water. So now enriching the water now, it depletes the oxygen level in the water.
Okay.
Into the Bema best friend, the often gallons now, so fishes now outbreak. Some of
Yeah.
them might even die out of that. So
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
locals is a very short trees and actual shrubs around and cover upon this. But
Yeah.
ever provide the cooling system so
Yeah.
around the area. So they ever control temperature and so on. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
That's it. Which she inspired was it RAS system? My question is RAS system, but you bet me abway.
But I said,
I'm at the end of the I'm late. My question is RAS system. RAS. RAS. Okay, what the what last question, me and Casamidi and yeah.
But
So,
brother Francis,
Brother Francis.
hey, Mr. Felix, me, I don't know. I've not heard about RAS system. So maybe any maybe found there,
Yeah, yeah.
or if the person will
Who's
come back again.
RAS system no a system most Western world they used to so
Mm,
yeah as a circulating system yeah you can watch me so
okay.
but it is highly designed to self-control itself.
Mm, okay.
It's what you select on it, they are fine. Over to me, a design system not to help with all the circulation and oxygen
Yeah,
control, pH and all that.
yeah,
With the RAM system, it comes with automation.
yeah,
So it comes with automation. It's you really don't do much. The system does it all for you. You just have to make sure, say, feeding and everything is right. The system is
yeah.
working right. Yeah, but it does everything for you. I wish I'm not driving. I could have sent you a picture to look at how it looks like.
Okay. Don't
Yeah.
worry. Bet me never told group no so WhatsApp group no so. So is WhatsApp community group no.
Yo, Matty.
Okay. I think say you be running up. Na Brother Bernard, me ba che wo bibi ka na what can you running up or last one. Na Mr. Francis ya kan di na fe. Sister or what?
All right.
Uh,
Me need a break, but the only thing I would just say, or the small I would say, is
yeah.
to say thank you. Thank you
Okay.
to SOS and all the audience. God bless you.
Amen.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome. Mr. Ferris, so what do you know?
Oh yeah. We are learning a lot. We are
Yeah,
learning a lot, and it increases our interest to get into agriculture. And just, you know, that is, I think that is the bottom line. That is the goal. Yeah, I'm sure about.
Yo, and I see. Any about you? Who will be careful? The last, you know.
Go pong, yapong.
Wow, okay, any other near from Major SOS in Ebusian in no matter when you're massive. More mobity, more mobile near Becassaye, more film bobity. Then when
Mr. Charles,
yeah,
yeah,
Wait, come on.
sorry. Yes, sister, the last question, okay, there. Last system room. Last question.
maybe.
Omanya tweeting RAS system.
RAS system. RAS. Okay, Matthias.
Not yeah, cause that was like various type of pawns in the room.
Yeah.
Ebia na yeah, cause ebia ebi jadi bu omobogu tapoli mu no small ways in the room. And na a term side mo and new system no. Ne ne 4 minute recirculating aquaculture system. I would say the number one side you need ABF as a pond any pocket one at home. But any different method aside those two things, no, a rice system. Into we need a count. Micha obia micha of mami. Ekuya ya santua. Mami dazi effort. Micha no pa. Ciao. And you say into anta you may share pipe one.
Na court point obaka kode fiase kantaba kansa na court asaba aberismi.
Mr. Bernard, you was more.
Francis.
Yes, sir.
Charles ne nasas ne so often in the one plot in the about one my akususu ai.
Matia.
Asasi ya iswe ya mepe bi kwa aka ona masama duama
So
abe.
1 to 50 acres did that.
Bansa Bible crack kan say it na wo kwa for you bet if we say
Do young person
oh it was stop my no ways where
Ayeka.
I did ja
yeah bona.
Ejadu.
Mr. Duayon
Said Ejadu tell so bebe ka 5 minutes you know about so Mr. Francis Mon yes idea there is here.
that sorry. And that Mr. Du started saying nay that and then Mr. Du started saying Nigerians visa of sudden to on to join
Jaw same you know me all my men said the cancer.
Palestine for not to bomb back what to go.
Between me oprim. Me pacho Mr. Mo last one Mr. Bernard and Mr. Francis. Pond no fish pond no dear no measurement no dear na mobile say and I say you be numbers is saying the best.
Okay. Brother Francis. The kind.
Me not take anything befiso.
Brother Francis. Okay. We don't have any standard measurements. It depends on your strength. But at least with 12 by 12. 12 by 12. Yeah, maybe they use it 12 by 12. Yes, they use it 12 by 12. And because me ballet kakra, but me sure say Mr. Wisdom name Mr. Francis Omoka kakra for him. Your pond, yeah, no, so it should be at least gentle or slightly slow.
Okay.
Uh,
12 by
and say,
but
yeah.
12 here height and length.
Sorry, 12 by 12 meters. So 12 by 12
No,
meters, Namidi.
12 by 12 meters. My height, length and wide.
Both. And anything I say 12 by 12. Length
Okay.
and height and 12 by 12 meters. Yes. 12 by 12
Okay.
meters. And a big cry, a big, and you can even divide it into two. It depends. So with that size, you can start with 1,000 fingerless.
Okay.
1,000
12 by
space
12 by 12. 12 by 12. 12
Yeah.
deep.
But
12
say
deep. Now, too deep. So,
that
12 deeper. And too deep.
and any depth
Depth
no
they
car
are.
any size.
No, maybe can size, What's that length and length and wide, Sembra.
Length
Yeah.
and breadth.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Length and breadth. Okay.
the size no can any depth and any depth.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no.
Now, the depth, no, the depth, it has to go in about.
Pacho Fenobra.
About
I mean, study how can it doesn't really matter. It depends on you. So, 12 by 12 in the crowd is we are small scale person. And the crowd no assume of crowd. So,
Yeah, and
because
okay.
I will say
I
to
said the
me,
panel.
yeah, you should be able to
Okay.
walk around it. You should be able to stretch yourself on it to be able to clean the water and all that. So we are small scale farmer. So small, very small scale farmer there. Very portable, small one is good for you. About maybe 5 by 8 or
5,
8 by 3.
yeah.
Yeah, those ones, you have control. So, but 12 by 12, I say, what could him kakra. So, I don't know, I say,
So
what be a professional. So, I think so.
And then I'm
It
here.
doesn't really, it doesn't really have measurement. It depends on you. But we are small scale
Yeah.
there. It has to be very, very portable. I'll be to me. I'm managing our control system. That's
okay. Madam was yo ejado
Such as why I did you sure
yo nyame nhyira mo. Nyame adom a yɛbɛsa ɛde atoa so with yɛde nnanda foforɔ bɛba. Yɛsrɛ sɛ Awurade bɛboa na obi bia wɔtie bia nso bɛyɛ dwumadie na ɔde bɛto akoma so na waboa ma yɛ because nam a yɛwe no Ghana nyɛ agorɔ. About 20 acres of farmland if in kind fish, yeah, we say because the protein is 20 from up to 25 kilos and nipa ba could be pro capita. The net
okay.
the tier pro.
That's it.
Because
Now
meet
we
you.
may try me want a picture and can make sure na me the ama brother Francis not the actual
Ah,
but me check
yo,
me archive na me me who am the best send no.
yo, Marty.
What you
Okay. Mr. Ferris. Ibidi komo. Why?
that's it. You're sure.
See that. I'm sure. Okay.
Mr.
Bye.
Felix
Anyway,
said that.
bye. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, Mr. Bernard.